I'm Nicole, your HEYOKA empath. I'm very emotional, just so you know. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out. Now, to all my family, I want you to understand something. In the midst of everything that's going on, I need you to stand firm in the eye of the storm. Stand firm in the eye of the storm. You are children of the sun. Your light is very needed here, and you need to get grounded. And you do that other than by going to nature, being with an animal. You need to have someone refocus and spotlight to you about all your gifts. And if you don't have a person, come to me, because I will do it in such a fucking phenomenal way that I will wake up everything that was asleep in you. You need to get grounded, and you need to understand. Children of the light, of the sun, are not meant to act in a vengeful, malicious way to get our way. It's really interesting. I had some dental surgery done, and I was speaking to my dentist, who I've known for quite a while, and I was letting him know the story, and I'm okay now, but like 6 months ago in this complex, I got beaten up by someone not completely stable. I'll say black woman, because hey, life matters, just, you know, just to show it happens all the time. But she thought I had banged on her door. They were very unstable, her an abusive person, and everyone was scared in the complex, and she lived on the floor with the elderly people. And when I heard there was banging on her door because they couldn't take the noise anymore and the vicious fighting, cops were here all the time, I left my place at 3 in the morning and went up to see the landlord. And that's when she came running up the stairs and beat me up, dragged me, beat me, a lot of things. I'm glad my spine's in place, because it got a couple issues. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is, the first thing my dentist said to me is, "You're in the fucking Israeli army. You're a bodybuilding champion. You're like smart. You're like, why couldn't you just finish her?" And I tried to explain to him that I could not do her harm. I could not do her harm. And even at the end, when my face was filled with blood, my ribs, my broken foot, whatever was there, my foot, I'm still getting physio on my concussion, whatever, doesn't help my dyslectlessness. But anyway, even at the end of the fight, my keychain was stuck in her long threads, whatever they're called. And even at that point, I could have yanked it out of her hair, but instead I went gently to her, not knowing what she would do, and I untangled it from her hair, and she saw it. She was very taken aback. It's very hard to explain to an average person who we are and what we are. If she was harming an old lady, if she was harming a child, as I've done when I was back at 18, when I saw a man hurt a child, I don't know what my hands would have done to her head and her neck, but our energies are very different energy, and you are so important. That's why I had a comment. I want to address this at another video about how to guide your unconditional love. That's what we're about. The sun shines on the good, the bad, and as I told a very special person, shout out to my Abby, and the butt ugly. The sun shines on the good, the bad, and the butt fucking ugly. It doesn't hold back. It can't. Now, karma, you've got to understand, being the children of the sun, of light, can't mess with those chosen children, because karma's like a gangster, like a real ferocious gangster, and it will come back for you. But I'm just sharing this with you because I don't want you to feel weird or stupid or fucked up that you keep giving unconditional love, or you keep like this and people keep like slamming shit on you and you don't want to hurt them. You're beyond the 3D. You're definitely into the 5D and you're very necessary, but there is some fine tuning in terms of relationships where we give our unconditional love, because that is what the children of the sun are. They're unconditional love, and they give it to anybody and everybody. And it is a very specific refinement of being where we have to snip away the bags of sack of conditioning and protocols. We were wired to go through certain chemical pathways that keep us instilled in calling in, because when guilt is inside you, that bad seed, and you ought to check some videos about guilt. It's like an eye-opener, or again, one-on-one with me, and you'll never have that problem again. You have to continue to call in the energy of that which will serve your guilt. And guilt has one job. It seeks punishment. And so you will find that, and you will suffer. So I just wanted to say I will do some more vids on that, and thank you for always letting me know what kind of vids that you want. Now let's get back to this fucking bullshit, okay? Now, as I left it, and I'm going to have to cut this really short and then do another couple parts. Okay, where I left it with the COVID, now they're introducing, or they're thinking, about a third shot and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth. This toxicity of chemicals, and a lot of people are not pseudoscientists over there. They're not into sports nutrition like I am, health food people. They're not really aware of the ramifications of what each chemical does in your body over time. Your body is a fucking miraculous machine. It's built to be resilient. But the reason why it's not so resilient is, again, as I discussed in video 1, and you do not want to miss it, you want to go to video 1, is if you have high glucose, if you have insulin resistance, and that is contributed by not just eating sugar and pizza and things that are fucked up, basically fast food, and breads, dairies, canola oil, the worst, soya oil, anything that is a starch that converts into sugar, it will raise your glucose level and make you insulin resistant. So you need more and more, and less of a window that you can last without it. So you crave the onion rings, you crave the pizza, you crave the cheese, fries. You crave it because it's not your fault. You're wired that way, and that's what sugar does. It's an addiction, and they knew that. And when you look at 3rd, 7th, 8th vaccination, and not to mention every year when there is a vaccine to a virus, that virus is a smart motherfucker. It is not the same. The same old vaccine is not as good. It has to be more potent. So again, you're putting into your body something designed to. And I know that they claim that the vaccine does also a lot of good other things to people who have certain health conditions or whatnot. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that. I'm just an expert in the body and the things that it does to people who have thrombotic situations, like lung issues, like diabetic, like varicose veins thrombotic, their nervous issues. The biggest way to fuck up your glucose insulin levels, which makes you diabetic, and at that point your life declines quite fast, along with your fucking kidney, quite fast. You think you have pleasure peeing now? Oh my God. If you have a kidney problem, it will be your only luxury if you can pee. So just thank your organs, you know. Say, I love you, my breasts. I love you, my penis. I love you, my heart. I love you, my kidney. Just like talk to your shit, man. The fastest way for you to get your insulin resistant, which means the pancreas have to give so much fear-based adrenaline, and then you live in fear and flight, and you wonder why you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're wondering why when something happens, like work changes a schedule, or schedule change, or the boyfriend doesn't say this, or the girlfriend does this, you're like imagining the worst. It's not because you're negative. It's because your adrenals are whipped to shit, and your adrenals are now filled with fear-based adrenals. So it connects to your head in a fear-flight attitude towards life. And the biggest thing to get you there, I'd say even more powerful than eating ice cream every day and donuts, is lack of sleep. I know, because I went through all that, and unfortunately I was with someone that was too ignorant to understand that I couldn't control my mind to sleep, as he did what he did, and I couldn't sleep. So it's the most important thing. Now, if there's a third shot, and a fourth shot, and a fifth shot, and a sixth shot, where does it end? At what point will we look at our body and think, enough already? People are developing new things. Like, I'll tell you one thing, just due to this COVID being incubated, now more than ever, teens are developing tics. It's coming out. Like, why are teens developing tics? Well, let's look at what happened. They were forced indoors. EMF, which is, it's electromagnetic, let's just say major pollution and major poison to the body that comes off your phone. EMF poisoning is real. You need to look that up. It's like a 3-hour thing. That messes with the wiring of your head. Okay, so if all they're doing, because they're not outside, to balance with nature and oxygen, and they're getting stale air indoors for a whole year, they're getting all this EMF. What does EMF fuck with? Well, one is it fucks with your sleep. So if you're doing this, you know, all this social media and stuff, and you're not sleeping, and you don't have fresh air, and you don't have exercise, and you don't have nature, carbon dioxide, all those kind of things, you don't get to recycle dead air. It's kind of like not showering, and all this dead skin builds on your body. So at that point, if you don't sleep, you start to become deficient in B12. If you're deficient in B12 runs neurological diseases. So if your B12 is deficient, it will make your iron deficient. You will become anemic, but way before you're anemic, your iron levels will go down. When your iron levels go down, you're prone to developing tics, but that's not even the most major one. Not getting the fucking sun, not getting what your body's used to in terms of energy from the sun, never mind what it does to your neurotransmitters of your dopamine, your serotonin levels and everything like that. But low vitamin D, you can search it online, will give you tics, among many other things. Forget depression, all these other things. But that's one of the major things that's going on with teens right now. And I would say to them, other than definitely get your B12 checked, even though it's hard to see in blood work, it will either show up as critically high, which means your liver, that's where it gets absorbed, which means your liver can't even take it in, it's too sluggish. So it's out in the blood and means you've got nothing because it's absorbed in the liver, or it's too low. And get that person on magnesium and get them on B6. Well, a whole B complex, but definitely B6. That would really, really help. And get them off the fucking phone and shit like that and get them out. That's a whole separate thing. But I had one of my family members from the community reach out, and I wanted to talk about that because it was so good of him to bring it to my attention. Now, the other thing that, you know, I just wanted to bring to our attention, you know, it's really interesting. The word medicine with the native Indians in China and Hungary, everywhere there's herbs, it was designed and has always healed. The only drawback to that kind of medicine to heal was a bitter taste. Now, with medicine, we've got severe things going on in the body that within 2 to 3 years, through statistics that I've read and I personally know of experience through my people, then we need another medication or two to help the organ it weakened due to putting a numbing effect or forcing the blood pressure to go down, when all you have to do is get on fucking garlic and get your glucose under control and whatever, because your blood pressure is too high, which means your kidneys are starting to fuck up because, you know, it can't hold sodium anymore, so that's why they say no sodium. Everything is fucking connected like a domino effect, okay? And it just, we forget the originality of true, authentic behavior. We forget the originality of things like medicine, things like pure love, and how that really feels, and how there's no mistake about it. You don't have to ask your friends, is it true? It's like a resounding yes. Oh my God, there's no doubt. If you're feeling any kind of fear from your gut, in your instincts, it's not your instincts, it's a paranoia and it's a convoluted, mudded thinking. And unfortunately, it seems to really make you listen when something good is about to happen and makes you doubt it. And then when something bad is about to happen and it's really clear and resonating in a different way, physically, you don't listen. So, okay, so right now I'm going to have to call that quits because I'm already at my limit. Okay, part 3 coming up real soon. Thank you. Bye.